Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to the Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey Podcast, episode 351. 351 Windsor, 351. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Hot tamale. Well, summer's here in full swing. Graduation's going on. There was a big graduation party up the street.
Oh, yeah?
Today. Yeah. Cars parked all down the neighborhood. It was a big party. So,
party time. Were you there? Did you go?
I did not
crash it?
I did not crash it. I thought, it's a high school graduation. It wasn't like a college graduation or something like that. So figured it was a dry party. Although I'm not drinking today. I'm just drinking water because holy smokes. Yeah, it's warm. Starting to cool off though. We're getting the breezes, it's a little overcast. So very nice. So
Good.
Yeah. Do you know a little fun fact about the 351 Windsor?
Not really. I'm not a Ford guy.
Well, it was produced from 1969 to 1996.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty cool. That's a long time.
So they started production of it a year after I was born.
There you go. Dating yourself. The early muscle car versions made 330 horsepower.
Wow, that's respectable back in the day.
Not bad, right? But then the 70s to 90s with all the smog bullshit, trucks and the truck versions range from 140 to 240 horsepower. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Windsor versus Cleveland. A lot of people get them confused. The W. Yeah. Produced the Windsor in Ontario.
Canada?
And then the Cleveland, Ohio. Yeah, it was the 351 Cleveland was produced in Cleveland. So, yeah, kind of cool stuff.
Learning something new every day here at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey.
Right.
You learned about the small block Chevy No, you didn't. We briefly mentioned it.
We mentioned it.
We teased it.
We could do a whole V8 episode. That'd be pretty cool. We could break down the best V8s of all time.
Absolutely. Start with the Hemi.
Yeah. Call in and let us know what you think the best V8 of all time is.
Right. There's lots of choices, that's for sure. And none of them start with a T.
No, they don't.
Well, what else is going on? I my little quick update. I know we missed an episode last week, and we're not going to dwell on it too much, but part of what happened is my personal life caught up, and unfortunately my mother was in the hospital for the week, and I was pretty much dedicated. My time was dedicated to visiting her in the hospital and making sure that I got updates from all of her team of doctors. Good news is she's doing okay. She's stable, and I brought her home. We're recording on Sunday evening, and I was able to bring her home. She was discharged from the hospital yesterday on Saturday, so she is resting comfortably at her apartment now.
Oh, nice. There you go. How old is Mom?
Old enough.
Over 70.
She's in her 80s, and she's got a few health challenges that people, when they get into their latter years, seem to develop. And I'm not going to get into all the details, but she's doing better, which is good news.
Good, that's great to hear. All right, well, always good to be home. That's the best place to heal.
For sure.
All right. So you got some reviews, I think you said?
I do. We're going to tear into a little bit of business here.
I got one voicemail here.
Oh, okay. Well, let's cue that up and we'll play it in a couple of minutes.
All right.
In the meantime, you want to play it now?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, my phone just wigged out. Come on, back. There you are. Okay. I've got some from an old friend of the podcast, Chris Horton with Who, the guy that drives a Smurf Blue Toyota 4Runner, I think it is. I don't know what episode. Oh, he's referring to the Ultra 3 came to be. episode 343. That was when we recorded on the lake bed, King of the Hammers 2026. The mayhem and the hospitality trailer there.
There's definitely some mayhem going on.
So it was quick from Horton. Just said, great job editing this one. And yeah, absolutely, Horton. That was one of my more challenging episodes to clean up.
So, yeah, we like to leave you, keep you on your toes, leave you a mess to clean up. That's good.
Yeah. No, and I should be getting paid a lot more for the work I do for this podcast. That's for sure.
Lorenzo says he should be getting paid more too.
Yeah, he got paid enough.
He's still wondering when you're coming up here to pick him up.
He got, I don't know, but he got paid more than enough when he stole my credit card and rented or chartered a jet to fly all over South America. Fucker.
Oh, he's just shaking his head. All right. Yeah. You got another.
I do. And then I've got one from Alan Johnson. This one's in reference to some wheeling you did with him in the local terrain up near Carson City.
Yeah, Mayhem.
Mayhem.
Racket.
Right. So he just basically said, good wheeling with you, Jason. Here's the link to the video. I guess I'm going to have to post this link into the show notes.
Oh, yeah, you should. It's a YouTube video.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So I will do that. Look for it in the show notes, everybody. So this is from Alan Johnson.
Who is also the president of RTF, Rubicon Trail Foundation.
Oh, awesome. What does he drive?
He's got a Jeep. What alphabet letters are
TJ, JK, LJ?
I think I'm going to go with a TJ. I'm not 100% sure though. Could be an LJ. Let me see if I can find a photo real quick. Go on.
Well, the LJ is obviously the long wheelbase version of the TJ, and you can get that in the Rubicon flavor.
The LJ. No. Like a JL.
Oh, a JL.
If it was a JL or that. I don't know.
Okay, well, while you research that, I will read the other review or something. And it's not even a review. It's more of a comment from Horton with a Who, the Smurf Blue Toyota driver. He's not
back
Smurf
again.
Blue. But so he just basically, this is a comment based on putting the camping versus glamping to rest. That was our last episode, episode 350. Hey, Chris, I might drive down to the trail, clean up for a taste of that old elk. Well, hopefully, did Horton show up? Because I didn't make it because I obviously had my mom.
Yeah, he was looking for the old elk. No, he didn't make it. No, he didn't.
No,
he was just up the road, but was at a concert and archery contest up the road.
Oh, good. Yeah, unfortunately, I obviously, just from what I said earlier in the episode, did not make it to Adopt a Trail, and I'm sorry for that and sad about it because I wanted to see everybody. I wanted to, and we'll talk about it a little bit further in the episode, but I certainly want to put my time into helping keep the trails open for, in the High Sierra. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I missed out. So anyway, that's all I've got for reviews.
That's all you got? Okay.
We're caught up.
All right, let's see what this voicemail is all about here.
Hey boys, Rover Don into your small block Chevy episode here, 350. And wow, holy shit, that was some maximum sand squirrel voicemailage there. I didn't understand 90% of that, but I am 100% here for the 10% that I did get. That's right. Just, go full sand squirrel and we're there for you. I got the part about Toyota suck and bulldozers. We don't want to talk about that. Anyway, yeah. All this weekend.
Oh, Don.
New custom axles from Dutchman. They're making up for my rig. So I'm going maximum bougie here, just taking the rental program. My buddy, Tyler is hooking me up with his rental Range Rover. It's just your basic stock overlay type. It's 5.3 fully linked 42 sticky trips. Just the usual Range Rover stuff. I think it'll be adequate for Hellhole. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, as always, keep in mind the suckage of the Toyota, and we'll see you guys out there.
Oh, Donnie, unfortunately, you were a little broken up. So maybe Cody Sandsquirrel will call back and say how he couldn't understand your message.
Right? Payback's a bitch.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, that was quite the voicemail. Yes, he's right. Cody was on one there, but
Terror.
so yeah, doing some Range Rover stuff as usual, and I like the way how he wrapped it up with the major suckage of Toyotas. That's good.
Right.
Donnie. Good voicemail, Donnie. We just got to get you better service.
And as usual, if you want to leave a voicemail, you can call and do it yourself to the voicemail line 408-800-5169. Again, that is 408-800-5169. And a quick little follow-up on the reviews. You can always leave a review, and we certainly like that and appreciate it. You can leave a review on Apple, iTunes, whatever they call it, Apple Podcasts, I guess now. Used to be the old iTunes. You can leave a review there and we'll read it on the air. You can also go to Spotify, which is where I see a majority of them nowadays. You can also go to irate4x4.com and scroll down to watch, listen, and discuss, and you can see all of our past episodes there. And of course, make comments on the episodes there too. And we can interact and have a little banter back and forth on that website also, which is super useful for not just talking about Toyotas and bitching about Toyotas, but you can also go in and see about other people's builds and swap information about if you run into a brick wall trying to solve a problem with your linked suspension or whatever, you can always find, interesting discussions about it and maybe solutions to your problem from a large group of off-road enthusiasts.
Yeah, absolutely. I rate 4x4. So, and don't forget to call in to the voicemail line if you have a favorite V8.
That's right.
I wondered if Don was calling from his, Range Rover mounted mobile phone in the center console.
The old analog phones back in the day.
I'm pretty sure that's what he was calling in from.
Right.
Remember those that were in the center console and they were hardwired to
you were so bougie if you had a cell phone and the people that would buy those fake stick-on cellular antennas and
put them in their window antenna you put on their roof.
I don't have a phone, but I got an antenna making it look like I got a phone.
Yeah, and then the BMWs had those in the center console. That was, BMWs and the
Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. There you go.
Buy, sell. Hey, I got a movie idea for you.
There you go. All right. So, been doing some wheeling. Got out to Moonrocks last weekend.
At least one of us has.
Yeah, it was the annual trip of Carlos from Tac One Fab and Anthony from DF Fabrication there, and good times. I've talked about Moonrocks before here. Mm-hmm. And we went the weekend after the cleanup, and they had like 200 people out there that weekend before cleanup. So the place was spotless. The new sign went up, so they had this huge rock that they stood up, surrounded by smaller boulders, and sponsored by Polaris and the BOM there. And it's, 8 feet tall. Wow. It's pretty damn tall. And it's 1/4-inch plate steel and, has Moonrocks and everything on it. You go to the Moonrocks Facebook page or IG Friends of Moonrocks, you'll see it there. It's pretty cool. And so it was neat to see that. Trails got labeled. Some of the lines on the rock and a couple of the trails out there got labeled with a plaque, laser engraved plaque. Similar to what they do at Sand Hollow.
Wow.
So kind of cool there. And I mean, it was awesome. Usually we're there the weekend of the cleanup, but they did it the weekend before, or we did it a week later. I don't know. Unfortunately,
well, the cleanup's usually the week after Memorial Day weekend, right?
I believe so. But it was great to see a huge turnout and improvements made out there. So, James and Rhonda were there, and James just keeps pushing his buggy to new, rear steer lines with his drag axle. It was pretty good. But we did, so I got there later on Friday, and then Saturday we did the Suburban Trail, which is just a fun trail in this canyon. And there's a Suburban that's, got abandoned in there over the years, and it's filled up with rock and debris, mud and dirt coming down the mountain there, that trough canyon. But you actually still drive over the Suburban, the engine compartment there to continue up the trail. And then that puts you up on a ridge, and then you kind of work your way down. And then there's the Boondoggle Trail, which is a fun trail. And there was some, it's a challenging trail to begin with, with rocks. And there's a couple different lines you can take in some areas, pick your poison. But towards the further up the trail, we were heading up the trail, and it's in a canyon as well. Somebody, rolled rocks in from the top, and there is some big fucking boulders in there now. One right before the waterfall was probably a good 3.5, 4 feet high.
Wow.
And round. Amazing. And I'm like, well, shit, am I going to be able to crawl over this thing? And
was there a roadrunner underneath the rock?
No, there was no, that would have been Wile E. Coyote. Genius. Sheer genius. But I was leading at that point, and I was able to climb up it, and then got a good line on the wall and walked right up. But yeah, it was fun. It's just a good time. And we got back to camp, around 1-ish, had lunch, and then went out and played on the big Thunder Mountain Railroad right there, Moonrocks. There's so many great lines out there and stuff you can do. It's just a blast. So, thanks, Carlos and Anthony, for putting that on again this year, and always a good time. It's a good opener of the wheeling season, even though we did the May trip, Mayhem there, the Hackett and Wackett Trail there. But it's, wheeling season's in full swing. Left. I had to leave Saturday afternoon because I had a concert Saturday night, so I didn't get to wheel the rest of the evening there and Sunday. But it's nice and close, about an hour and a half from my house. So
there you go. I heard the wind was pretty lively.
Yeah, it does blow. It's Nevada, and it was pretty windy that weekend, pretty much everywhere. I had my truck and just the enclosed trailer, and it was pretty spicy going up there and coming home on Saturday. That was it blows, it moved me around the highway pretty good. But I don't know. It would have been nice to have the weight of the camper in the bed of the truck, but not.
That would have been a whole nother sail.
But then you got more wind resistance too. So I don't know, 6 1 half dozen the other.
Right.
And then this past weekend was Adopt a Trail. Our figured it's our 28th year doing these trails.
Wow.
Well, the Matley Ridge and Matley
Loop. Yeah.
And Matley, it goes into Matley Meadow. And those we've been doing for 28 years. The Corral Hollow, I think we adopted like 4 or 5 years after that. So let's just say 24 years we've been doing Corral Hollow in the mix. So there is a Facebook page. It's like Friends of Corral Hollow, Blue Lake, Slick Rock. They group all those together right in that area.
Well, they're all pretty close together. So yeah.
Somebody reported on Corral Hollow that there was a bunch of trees down past the Bear Trap cabin. And then a week later, somebody posted, "Oh, trail's open. We cut them all." But unfortunately, they didn't cut them wide enough to where, the Forest Service likes to see it wide enough.
They didn't just do them wide enough for a side by side.
Well, there was you could get a Jeep through, but it was there was some that needed to be cut again.
Do you remember that year? Like, I don't know, 5 or 6 or maybe 10 years ago, we were driving on one of the Matley trails coming down from Hunter's Camp, and somebody had cut a tree that was laying across the trail just wide enough for a motorcycle to get through.
Yeah.
It's like what a dick move. I mean, if you're going to go through the effort, make it for everybody.
Well, I guess they call that a squid filter in motorcycle dirt biking, is you cut it just wide enough to get a motorcycle through.
Uh-huh.
So you don't have any side-by-sides or Jeeps or anything like that. So.
But that is a Jeep trail. So just saying.
It's true. It's true. But well, you should have been up there to yell at people. That would have been
well, get off my lawn, damn it.
Get off my trail.
So I'm all about everybody using the trail, but if you're going through the effort, you have a chainsaw and you're going through the effort, make it open for everybody.
Yeah, it's true. If you're making a cut, you might as well make it there, but then you got to move a bigger piece of wood. Anyways, so Ed went out. Ed had his Kawasaki golf cart side by side.
Oh yeah,
and he got there Thursday. He actually got there Wednesday night. I got there Thursday early afternoon. I was the second one in camp, and he was out on the trail on Corral Hollow. He had texted me, and I had just gotten a service coming up Highway 4, just enough to know that he was out on trail. And so I got camp set up. He comes in, and he goes, "Hey, Corral Hollow is open, but there's still some trees that need to be cut." And they drove over some, and there's cleanup to do. And I said, "Okay, but maybe we'll concentrate usually we do Corral Hollow on Friday and then do all the Matley trails on Saturday when the rest of the club's there." But I flipped it this year and I said, "Hey, let's work on," we had 16 people on Friday morning. So we divided and conquered. One started on Matley Ridge off of 709 just past Corral Hollow.
Yeah.
And then I took a group to our lunch spot up on 709 and went up the ridge that way so we could meet.
Oh, you came in it from both directions.
So both directions, where historically there's been a lot of trees.
Oh, yeah.
We met a ranger. Greta had told us that there was some wind shear events, just 4-6 weeks ago. And I said, "Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard there was a lot of trees down." So anyways, we started going, and yes, there was trees down, but not nearly as bad as years past, right?
The pickup sticks here.
Yeah, and a couple of them, our very first tree we came upon, Eric and Dolly were there, and the way Eric was positioned, he goes, "Here, let me get up there with my winch," and we took a pulley off a tree, and then pulled this big log parallel with the trail. It was perfectly orchestrated. It just lined up perfectly with the trail. I'm like, all right, we're off to a good start. And then we had to cut some more trees and pull and roll and do all that good stuff. But we made good progress, and we met up with the other group around 11-ish, I would say. Yeah. And so I thought, okay, well, hell, that's great. So they started down another trail kind of back towards camp that sometimes we clear and sometimes we don't. It's not technically one of our trails, but if we have time, we do it. And so they started down that trail, and then our group went up and crossed over the cattle guard and went over to Hunter's Camp. That cool campsite that's back in the woods there.
Down
and
by
then
the
our
switchback trail.
Yeah, then our trail goes down to the left where historically there's snow banks there, but there was a tiny bit of snow off the trail when you made the switchback. But anyways, got into Matley Meadow, and there was some trees and stuff down in there, and it's just beautiful down there. It's just a beautiful time of year. Everything's green, lush, and just it's a cool area. The quaking aspens and the pines and the mule's ear, are blooming, and these meadows, and it's just cool. So that trail that once you go through Matley Meadow dumps you back out on 709 way down at the bottom, and then we went up 709, and there was trees across 709, and that's a pretty well-traveled road. It's a Forest Service road, gravel. And it definitely, some people just kind of moved stuff enough or drove over stuff just to get through. They weren't doing any trail cleanup for sure. So we had a couple trees, good-sized trees that we had to address there and get off the trail. We got back to camp around 1:30, I think, on Friday. Yeah, with the other group was ahead of us. They got back around closer to 1, if not a little earlier. So that was good. And I knew we still had the loop below the lunch spot. And then we had Corral Hollow to do. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the list and talking to everybody, and there was only 2 more people we thought was going to show up, and only one did that I knew about that was coming. Mark from he belongs to a few clubs. Gold Country Crawlers, he just started that club. He's part of Mad Hatters. And anyways, good guy. He bought Ultra 4 Jones' old car. He's the one that bought the
chassis?
Car. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wow.
The original Ultra 4 Jones mobile.
So is it built now and rolling, or?
No, he sold it.
Okay.
The guy turned it into a trail car, and then he said he saw it for sale again. So we don't know where that chassis is.
Wow.
But anyways, so it was cool to catch up with him. And so he came up Saturday morning, and we left at 8:30 both mornings. Yeah, Saturday morning was closer to 9 because we were just BSing, and Ed was looking for his buddy that was supposed to be coming up, and he was MIA. He ended up coming in Black Springs Road or something.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm like, all right, well, we're just before 9 o'clock, we left camp. So a big group went to Corral Hollow because I said, look, we don't have much to do today. I don't know what the other loop is going to be like. I said, okay, so who wants to come with me? So we had Mark, Rob, Ole and Sherry, and Dick Orlando.
Okay.
In our group. So we had, capable rigs, we had saws. Ole had his Milwaukee hedge trimmer, because that trail doesn't get a lot of use. I don't think many people know about it. And,
the one that goes down to that like service
the
road
loop
that's way
off the off camber section.
Oh yeah,
winding through the trees. It's a cool trail. It's a cool loop, and I need to get more people to run it because it's fun and
it's getting overgrown, huh?
It's getting overgrown, but Ole was able to shear a lot of it away. The Manzanita. So
Manzanita,
cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, maybe I can get it on Onyx. I got all the map and coordinates, so maybe I could put that on Onyx, and people will start running it then if they're following Onyx.
It should be said that none of these trails are really difficult. I mean, they're just scenic and beautiful and pretty easy wheeling. There might be some off camber stuff. There might be some steep climbs and descents.
Well, that's the hardest one right there. That loop that I'm talking about.
Yeah, when you come back up from that road, that service road, and you got because I've actually rubbed my roll bar on some of those trees. Mm-hmm. You get leaning pretty good. So, but yeah, there's some fun terrain, and obviously there's a cute couple. Well, you haven't talked about Corral Hollow yet, but
no,
but those trails they're pretty easy trails. Easy. I think
they're scenic and fun. A bunch of people. So I said, look, if you want, go run Corral Hollow from 709 to Highway 4. And it shouldn't take that long because, there's not a whole lot to clean up. And then you guys can go run Slick Rock afterwards. So a large group went that way. CJ and Kelly and, a bunch of them went that direction, which is great. So they got to, I guess they still cleared like 25 trees on Corral Hollow was their count.
Wow.
So that's more than I thought there was only like a dozen or so trees that needed to be cut back more, but they said 25. So that's good. Trail's wide open now. They went and did Slick Rock. So we did our loop, and like say, there was quite a few trees down on our loop. We had 20 something trees as well, and some good sized trees. And it took a while because it was narrow in spots, and so you had to cut the the log up in a few pieces so you could, line the trail with it or block off one of the bypasses and stuff. So that was cool. We just kept moving, and it was a good group. And I thought, oh yeah, we'll be done at 11. I didn't pack a lunch because I was confident we'd be back at camp by lunch.
Mistake.
And so we got done at 12:20. We got back to the lunch spot at 12:20. So we could have got back to camp, in another 15 minutes from that point. So would have been fine. But Dick and Oli and Rob decided to go down 7 and 09. And there was one tree that we kept driving around that needed to be cleared right out of camp. I mean, less than a quarter mile from camp. So they went and took care of that and went back to camp. And then I said, Mark, you want to run the Ridge Trail? It's wide open now. Let's go run that back to camp instead of just going down 7 and 09. So we went up the ridge and got to the top and then dropped down. And then there was like 7 rigs coming up the trail, which I was happy to see.
That's
that people
cool.
were using it.
Club or just
I don't know. There was no badging or anything, but it was a wide variety of vehicles. There was some like Mitsubishi
Monteros or
something in the front, and then there was a Gladiator. There was a Chevy pickup that had a leaky driver's rear tire that had you could hear it as it went by. It went. I go, well, he's going to figure out he's going to have a flat here soon. So we let them by, and then we continued down the trail out to 7 and 09, back to camp. So we were back at camp again by 1:30. Again, perfect.
Cocktail hour, perfect.
And it was warm, not crazy hot up there though. Everybody was like, "Oh, it's going to be hot." No, it's nice. You're up at like 7,000 plus altitude, and that's an awesome camp. I don't know. I just love that area. It's unique. It's it is at that 7,000 foot, but you got some cedar trees and you got this mix of pine trees and then you got the aspens and it's just like a wide variety of trees at that elevation, and it's just beautiful. The weather was great, and it cooled down at night, and you put your sweatshirt on sitting around the campfire. So we had a couple good campfires. And so that group, we were back at camp and we just hung out and relaxed. Eric and Dolly stayed back at camp, and Ellen and Ed and Hope, because, they were doing dinner that night.
Saturday
Taco night. So we're Saturday night dinner. Yep. And we said, okay, in the morning during our driver's meeting, we said, okay, 5:00 dinner. We originally said 5:30, and then we go, okay, 5:00 because we should be back and done early. So, it was blue hair dinner time, 5:00.
I'm all about it.
I know. So Ed had dinner ready by like 5:15. And holy hell, what a spread. He had, taco shells, corn tortillas, flour tortillas, chicken, this really good rotisserie chicken. I think he got the Costco rotisserie chicken and then seasoned it up. And then he had his ground beef and then all kinds of toppings to put on it. I mean, your cheese and lettuce and
tomato
and all that stuff.
and
Different pico de gallos, a hot and a mild pico de gallo, sauces, green, red sauce, even had Taco Bell hot sauce you could if you wanted it. Had chips to make nachos. It had the Taco Work chips from San Luis Obispo. those really good seasoned chips.
The thick ones that don't break.
And the Taco Works. They're so good. And guacamole, handmade guacamole.
Sour cream, I hope.
There was sour cream. I mean, it was, when you do a buffet, you should just do a survey of the whole situation before you grab a plate and start loading up, because if there's something that you want. Yeah, I ran out of room. I did not manage my buffet very well there, but it was delicious. Great job. And we got a grant from Cal 4 Wheel, I think, right?
Yeah.
Cal 4 Wheel grant for the Adopt a Trail. So that paid for feeding the club. And he had sodas and waters and all that stuff too, cold for everybody. So it's just nice when you're out there working and you don't have to worry about dinner that night. Everybody comes back. But the Slick Rock group, they had a few issues. Kelly slid a tire sidewall. Somebody got hung up. I think Bob got hung up for about a half an hour on the trail. Kelly's steering box was not cooperating too well. There was just, and I guess the trail was kind of busy too. So they didn't get back to camp till just before 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Were you guys in contact with them by radio?
Well, the cool thing, yes, we had the ham radios going. Oh, and there was a ham Nazi as soon as we started talking on Friday morning. And what's your call signs? So we all of us just started hammering call signs at this. Oh, okay, just checking. We don't want any non-ham operators on the ham airwaves here.
Great.
I think it was Tyler. I'm pretty sure it was Tyler. No,
he was doing that while he was driving his camper into branches.
Oh, I don't know. Okay, that's new to me.
You didn't see the text stream?
No.
The picture of the big dent in the side of his Lance. Which is about an hour ago.
Knowledge. Oh, it's just happened. Oh, shit. That ain't good. Oh, I don't know. Anyways, so they got back to camp, and our total tree count was 87.
Holy smokes.
87, and I think we had a total of about 20 people. 19 or 20 people.
That's a lot of tree. That's a lot of lumber being moved.
Yeah.
What was the average size? I mean, you said there were some pretty good sized ones. Were they most of them like a couple feet?
We had some big dogs that the 32-inch saw was just barely getting through. And I had to cut that a few times. There was a lot of trees down on that trail. And, and we did it. We cleared it last year, but the year before, I don't think we cleared it because we ran out of time.
Yeah. Were there any real crazy technical removals like that one year?
No.
In the pickup stick zone on Matley Ridge where we had to that was scary. It was crazy.
No, but I need to retire my 3-inch toe strap that is just really, the webbing is going to hell on it because, you use it to choke the tree to pull it and it's dragging on the ground and it's beating the strap up. I would never use that strap for recovery. It's the one time a year that I use it. But I think after this year, I'm going to retire it because I was like, man, this thing is ready to go any minute. So I'll have to maybe I'll buy a new strap for the buggy and dedicate that one to tree cleanup next year, adopt a trail. Or
just buy a cheapy one on Amazon or whatever.
You could. I guess could do that too. But
either way.
Anyways, so yeah, it was good stuff. Saw ran great, man. That's still 32-inch fuel injected. Run the true fuel through it. So,
and a Widowmaker.
It's that thing's got some great power. It's impressive. And then a couple people had the Milwaukee, fuel saw the
battery one,
the bigger, beefier one. Yeah, and that was pretty impressive for like a. I think it had a 12-inch bar on it or something, but it's perfect for limbing, Oh
yeah, those are great.
Lightweight. And I said, okay, you guys limb the trees and I'll cut the big stuff. So worked out great.
It's funny. I bought a little Ryobi top handle chainsaw, battery powered chainsaw for work a couple years ago, and my crew absolutely loves that saw. They flog on that thing. I think I got it at Home Depot for like $280. And the thing is, it takes a beating, and it's like it doesn't care, and I don't care if it breaks down because it only costs $300.
Sure, yeah, it's good stuff. Somebody brought a pole saw, electric pole saw, which you're thinking, why are you bringing a pole saw? Well, there's some trees that lean over, and I call them car wash trees because they're rubbing on the top of your rig. So we were able to clear those with that, which was great. Yeah, and the trails were in great shape. There, the water bars were still holding up. Signage is still there.
Trees blow over and root balls you had to fill in or anything like that?
No, not. I mean, there was some blown over trees, but not
adjacent to the trail.
Yeah, there was only 2 root balls that were blown over from trees that we cut. But they weren't weren't huge, so that's good.
How's Bear Trap Cabin? I know I'm bouncing around.
I did not go on the Corral Hollow Trail.
Oh, you didn't? I know that
I heard it's pretty rough.
It's been deteriorating pretty bad over the last few years, and it needs some love. I don't know who the volunteers that take care of that are, if that's like Forest Service or what, but I know that the outhouse is a complete loss, or at least it was last year.
No, it's been, yeah.
And, shingles have fallen off the building, and it's just, it's rough.
Yeah, some retired contractors need to adopt that thing and give it some love for sure. We've worked on a few things, like the door wouldn't open one year, so we had to shim and reset the door. We've done, fixed some deck boards and stuff like that, but it's pretty rough. So hopefully somebody will, hear this and maybe say, hey, we'll go out there and fix that thing up. So
maybe it'd be a bunch of Subaru drivers.
Yeah, you could get out there pretty easily with a Subaru to that point. But from that point on to Highway 4 it gets, that last section is really tough. It got the rocks and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Harder, it's definition of tough, right? But it gets a little spicy towards the end of that trail. So, yeah, it was a great event. Weather was awesome. There was a lot of work, but it wasn't like, crazy like that couple years. There was no snow on Corral Hollow to bust through, they said.
No stranded vehicles that had to be hauled away.
Vehicles, no. So that's good. So yeah, glad we got it done. We set this date long ago. I mean, there was plenty of notice for everybody. And we kept it, and we could have gone a few weeks earlier because of the weather. We didn't, we always trying to set a date early, anticipating when the snow wouldn't be so bad, but it was fine. It's wide open. So Rangers were super appreciative.
Good.
And it was great event.
Well, I'm sorry I missed it.
To have another year done.
One of my favorite events of the year. Obviously, things conspired to prevent me from going. I had the camper on the truck, was ready, it was fully stocked, and unfortunately, I couldn't go at the last minute. So, but that's all right. The camper is still on the truck, and I'm going to figure out a way to get up to the mountains here shortly. So,
you weren't
one way
there.
Or
another. Hot Rod, JL Latte was not there. Who else is normally there? That there was one other person we were talking about that's normally there that didn't make. Oh, Dan.
Dan Bella.
Yeah. He didn't make it this year. He had something going on. So, he was my rigger. He's the one. I'd stay in the buggy and he'd set up all the straps and the chains and stuff on the trees to drag them.
I used to do that for you, but
I was getting in and out a lot. And I told Mark yesterday, I said, well, I'm like Chris, my ins and outs are getting limited today.
Yeah, I have one in and one out. So, I mean, I did do Adopt a Trail Part 2 last year with JL Latte. Rodney and I went up. We made a day trip to meet up with. You weren't on that day run. I know that there were some campers from our club at not Bear Trap, but Black Springs. So I did get to see the trails last summer for a day.
Okay.
But hopefully, I say it over and over again. Life gets in the way, and it seems like my life is so chaotic.
Yeah, you got to stop
now.
talking about events. Don't talk about any future events.
I'm going to not put anything on my calendar because I feel like people's like, oh, Chris is trying to get out of town. Let's conspire against him. Yeah. So, I don't think that's the case. My mom certainly didn't expect to have a medical emergency occur that required her to be transported to the hospital in an emergency room. But, you never know what life's going to serve up. And mine's been serving up some shit sandwiches lately, and I need to get it back on a stable base. So anyway, enough of that. But I'm glad you guys had fun. I'm glad you were able to clear the trails. And, obviously we want to avoid. Why do we do it? Why do we do the Adopt a Trail? Because when trees fall down or debris gets in the way of the trail, less I don't know the word I'm looking for. People that don't want to put in the effort to clear the trail and stay on the correct trail, they make bypasses.
Yeah, the bypasses happen.
And we don't want to have bypasses because that creates, environmental problems and erosion
and everything. Yeah, exactly.
So it's an important thing that we do. The clubs, not just Esprit de Four, but a lot of off-road clubs, participate in the Adopt a Trail program. And if you have a club and you don't have an Adopt a Trail, you should reach out to the Forest Service and try to find a trail that's not sponsored currently, and take that on and do your part.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them out there, and they definitely could use the help, because we were told years ago when we started maintaining these trails that they would have been closed, overgrown and closed, and they wouldn't be there anymore. And like I say, I was excited to see people coming at us yesterday on the trail, and they were going all over the place. I saw them like 3 or 4 times go past camp, so they were running all kinds of trails out there, and that's what they're there for. We're fortunate to have public lands for public people, and run them, and it's awesome.
And it's all categories of vehicles. I've seen mountain bikers out there, dirt bikers. I've seen side-by-sides, quads. I've even seen equestrians, and of course hikers and hunters. I've seen hunters in the fall. And then, of course, you got your traditional 4-wheel drive vehicles like Jeeps and Toyotas and whatever.
Yeah.
So it's there for everybody to use, for sure. Just if, and it's green. I think green, more about the green sticker, red sticker. Is there any rules? I don't think
there's red sticker anymore.
Oh, there's no red sticker anymore?
I don't think
so. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway.
Look that one up.
That's just a public service announcement. Enjoy the trails; they're open, and if you enjoy trails that aren't sponsored, maybe you can do your part.
There you go. Good stuff, man. So that's the updates on this end, and we will see what's next. I know Rubicon will be coming up. ZukaCon's coming up next weekend. Amber's Run.
Yeah.
And Barrett Lake should be opening pretty soon.
You said July 1, right?
Well, not confirmed. They got to do their Adopt a Trail first. I guess there's 40 some odd trees down. Somebody hiked in and counted trees for them. So we'll have to see.
Okay.
So once they get their Adopt a Trail done and everything, and give the brand new toilets a once over, ready for the season, then they'll open it up.
Perfect. And the weather's been great, obviously. And just another public service announcement. If you haven't done it already, get your campfire permit. There's a link for campfire permits in the show notes. Every episode has the same link for, it's a quick little deal. Watch a video and then take a quick little it's like 5 minutes of your life.
Yeah.
You got to have a campfire permit. You need it if you're out in the backwoods. You want to run a camp stove or want to have a campfire, barbecue, grill, whatever. But you make sure you have it.
Yeah. Gas barbecue, gas stove. You got to have a fire permit. The Ranger was filling them out. If anybody wanted them, I had gotten mine online already for the year. So I didn't have to do that. You can go to any Ranger station as well, but it's easy to do online and print it out, and then keep it with your rig in case they ask you for it. You are prepared.
And if you do have a campfire, make sure that thing is completely put out before you leave camp or before you go to bed.
Yep.
I mean, completely put your hand on it. You can literally rest your hand on the coal bed and you do not get burned. Out, dead out.
Mm-hmm. Dead out is the key. So you drown, stir, and feel. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but drown it with water. We had that creek nearby. I had my bucket, so we filled it up. It just flooded the fire pit, and then, it went from raging coals to just fucking out.
Yep.
Stirred it up, put more water on it, and then, put the old hand on it, and then knew we could go to bed.
Absolutely. Don't be that guy or
restart in the middle of the night.
Don't be that guy or that gal or that group that burns down the forest that we all love to recreate in. We don't want to hear about that. So, All right. So, yeah, Jason, how do they get a hold of us if they want to reach out?
Well, we got that phone number, 408-800-5169. Give that a ring. Emails, Jason, wheelingwineandwhiskey.com, Chris at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com, IG, Wheeling Wine and Whiskey. So, and you can check out our website and go check us out on iRate 4x4. So that is, just reach out. Give us a call. We like the voicemails. Just make sure you got a good reception and you're speaking clearly into the mobile device that you're on.
Mobile device. I like that.
All right, Chris, with that,
we're out.